What's up, guys? Welcome to the vlog. As we get going here, we're doing the reverse international layout. Let's see if the lens fogs up. It is so hot right now. It's like 95 degrees still, even at night. We are here at wonderful Dubai Cartdrome, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about braking in rental karts, 4-stroke rental karts. Basically, my first video I talked about the 7 different ways that you can manipulate the go-karts, speed and direction. We said that the throttle pedal makes you go forward, and it also affects the weight distribution, so that's how it affects direction. So 1 and 2. Brake affects speed and direction. It slows you down and also helps you change direction when you can pivot the go-kart. So that's 3 and 4. Your steering affects direction, and it also affects speed because you can understeer, oversteer, and slow the cart down. That's 5 and 6. And then number 7 is your body weight. You can manipulate your body weight in the go-kart. And by doing that, you can change the weight distribution of the go-kart. You can lean forward, you can lean back. And through all these 7 ways, you manipulate the go-kart. But today we're going to focus on the left foot, just the brake pedal. And then we'll get into the 3 main topics of how to brake, like proper brake application to find the limit. And then we're going to talk about pivoting the go-kart. And then lastly, we're going to talk about trail braking. So those are the 3 things that we're going to talk about. Alright, so I want to demonstrate one thing to you guys. The brakes slow you down, right? In a straight line, you can hold it and it slows you down. Secondly, the cart is really stable. If you let go, the cart doesn't spin. Even if you lock up, the cart doesn't spin. If your hands are off the wheel, the cart, it's almost impossible to spin. Okay? But if you turn and brake, the cart breaks loose. See? That's what is the most important thing about this. So you can use the brake to pivot the go-kart and get turns done a little better. Okay? So the 2 main purposes are changing speed, right? So you don't hit somebody, and changing direction. This is a very tricky corner on the brakes because you have to learn to trail brake it a bit. And I'm going to explain this. If you're just starting out, you want to brake in a straight line, let go, and then do your turning. So basically, if you're starting out, you want to brake in a straight line, turn, and get right back on the gas when you let go of the brake. Once you get more advanced, you can brake, turn, and trail brake, and get on the gas at the same time a little bit. Another thing about these go-karts is that if you press on the brake and the gas at the same time, it cuts the throttle. So you have to be very aware of that. So with these go-karts, especially 4-stroke karts, the brakes are on the rear axle. So when you brake in these karts, you don't want to slam on the brakes. If you slam on the brakes, you'll lock up the rears. What you have to do is press the brake nicely and hold it. You're heavy braking into a corner, like let's say I'm going to brake at this red, doesn't start until halfway through the braking zone. The cart really starts slowing down only about halfway through the braking zone. And be consistent with it. You want to spike it up nicely. Like I try and tell people, you want to brake as softly as you can while making the brakes work as hard as they can. Oh, it's smooth, progressive braking. You want to be very consistent, very linear, and hold the brake at the same point for a long time. When I'm braking, I kind of let go of the steering wheel when I'm braking in a straight line. As I said, there's stability when you're braking in a straight line. When you're braking in a straight line, I let go of the steering wheel, kind of. You know, just like nice dab on the brake, very gentle. Because like I said before, if you're steering and braking, you're going to make the cart spin. Here's the turning, you're turning and braking. So I let go of the wheel, right? And I just carry a ton more speed than these guys because I can slow the cart down more efficiently. Yeah, let's start focusing on this corner here. I want to be light with my hands because I'm going over rumble strips too. So I want to be very light. That's so good. That was really good. All because I let go of the steering wheel when I brake. Okay, now let's talk about trail braking. This is a really important part of braking. You need to brake in a straight line with your hands off the wheel But when you start turning is the time where you start taking brake pressure away. So to successfully trail brake, this is not a beginner thing. And you're going to go back and forth with this. As you learn this concept, you're going to become slower and then you're going to get faster. I had to go back to just braking in a straight line sometimes, you know? But I was really struggling to like master trail braking, and I didn't understand this concept of the more steering that I had, the more I have to back off the brakes. I had to just go back to brake in a straight line with my hands off the wheel, you know? And then I learned from motorcycles, actually, as you add more lean angle motorcycles, you have to trail off the brake. So this is the same thing. As you add steering, you need to let off the brake. Well, that's what I learned how to do. You can trail brake very, very well into the apex. Okay, let's talk about the last thing here. And this is about learning braking reference points. Never ask anybody where they brake, because it's different in every go-kart. It's different every time of day. So a braking reference point is the bare minimum of what you need to do. You really need to test, and you really need to find it out for yourself based on what you know you can do with the brakes, you know? This one should be a bit better. Come on, baby. Come on, Mr. Engine, you can do it. I want to say this to everybody out there. Knowing the racing line and braking reference points is the bare minimum. It's the bare minimum. I hope you guys are learning stuff about braking here. Oh shit. That's not good. Because I made a small mistake and I went off track. So that's how I know I'm reaching the limit. Okay, we have a bad run here. Some time, so we're gonna brake a half car length even later. I'm gonna take a break here for a second. What the? Best lap 35. I have to be top 10. There's no way I'm not. Yeah, okay, P5. Like I said, 16.5, 16.3, I'm 2/10 off. I could have got it with that go-kart if I had a draft. I'm P5! Oh, I didn't look, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is great. There's no brakes in this kart at all. So, let's drive this for a bit. Understeers like crazy. Beautiful. Like when I mean no brakes, I mean no brakes. I'm gonna try and adapt some of Gregory Morin style where he, you know, uses the kart to understeer. So not only am I using the brake to slow down a bit, but I'm using the steering wheel to understeer. Nice, so I was using the understeer to slow the go-kart down. Don't overdrive, don't overdrive, don't overdrive. Overdrive. Don't overdrive, don't overdrive. Wrist on. Gotta send it.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Just to do some conclusion here, we talked about braking, we talked about proper brake application, how you're not supposed to slam on the brakes, you're supposed to hold the brakes for a long time and as nicely as possible. You want to be very nice to the brakes, and these SOTI carts really slow down when you are nice on the brakes to them. The second thing we talked about was trail braking, how as you add steering angle, you need to slowly remove the brake. So the more steering angle you add, the more you need to be off the brake. We also talked about pivoting the go-kart, and that means you use steering and braking to rotate the go-kart to help you around some trickier corners. Some slower, tighter corners is where you want to do that. Higher speed corners, you don't really want to do that. You want to try and maximize the throttle. So I hope you guys really learned something here. I hope you take something away from this and use it in your own driving. Remember, seat time is always the answer. Make sure you're always pushing yourself to be as uncomfortable as possible. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not learning anything. So yeah, get out and drive, and we'll see you guys on the next one where we talk about steering and how it affects direction and speed. And we're also going to link in throttle application to that, how the throttle affects direction and speed. We're doing the links layout at Dubai Kartdrome next week. We're going to do it in regular and reverse. And on this layout, very small steering inputs have a huge effect on carrying momentum through trickier sections of the track, as well as throttle application. So depending on the go-kart, you can either use understeer to slow it down a bit, or you can lift off the throttle just like 5 or 10% and really maximize your speed through corners. So stay tuned to that for that video next week, and please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Please share it with somebody. So thank you guys very much. We'll see you next week.